Yep.
All right, well, let's turn on the TPO. As you guys know, we talked about this not too long ago, right? We talked about this being the preliminary or the last value where we built from and that we auction lower, right? So when you guys think about it, we went from the bottom of the box, we went about 3.5% lower, and guess what? We are back, right? And in terms of the levels, big levels that we have up here is the 65, 68. Does everybody know what that is? Is anyone that doesn't, or you guys all know it? All right.
Value.
So 68 was a set of single prints on the profile, on the weekly profile. So if you guys increase this to about maybe 6 or 7, you'll see it. I think 5 was the best. And we'll go regular. And then we'll hide this. You see it now? So here's your profile. I think we can go a little bit less here, maybe 3. And you'll see the nice set of single prints, and that's kind of where, I don't know if who was still trading or not, but this is where I said they're probably going 65, 68 for it and then be a good short. And that was pretty quick, 10 points there. If anyone took it, that was good. Other than that, I mean, so if you're new in trading and this is what you experienced today, that's why you take profits, right? So if you think about the trap that we had today, so you had one, let me hide this for a moment. Now, do you guys, everybody? So you had like a 2-day balance. If you want to call this a third day, sure. It wouldn't really change the profile at all. So let's say it's a 2-day, balance, and you go here. We broke the 2-day low, obviously here. We cracked that below 42.5. This was my target today, 54.13. If you guys didn't see it, that was my first target here. If we lost this, then we had 396 leading all the way 367. But they had like a massive rocket, right? Reversal. And there was some crazy trading on the option chain today. So some people were able to, if you took some trades today, you could have taken $10,000 to $1.7 million on some trades. It was pretty crazy. I haven't seen this in a while, but that's the stock market. I did close 4 out of my 5 SPY puts, which was pretty good. I'm probably down 50% on the last one, but it really doesn't matter. We have next week, even if it breaks even or something, I'll close it, and that way the profits are still there. But what transpired today, does everybody understand kind of what happened?
Yeah.
I mean, you went below, and this was a perfect trap, guys, for the short. You have CPI print coming out. They break some levels at the spike, and that was a good short at the top, guys. I mean, this is what we talked about, right? This is a pretty good short every time. It's one of the setups that I was, giving you guys a lesson on Sunday. This works a lot of times, and it worked out again. And you would have had, I would say, not a lot of drawdown was on display once we opened. And if you shorted, there was few places where you could have targeted. One of them was, the 57 being the ideal. You're not able to crack the 2-day value area high. That's the spike. A lot of confluence levels to drive it all the way here. I mean, that's 40 something points. The rest here would be the extra. And then of course they hit the first sig for the 3 months, and they hit it to a penny, and then they basically ran a lot. On 30 minutes, not a single red candle was since what, 10:30, not a single red candle. I haven't seen that in a while. So it was pretty cool to see it, right? I was not trading any of these long setups here. I closed all my shorts. I don't know. I posted actually, I think maybe 10 seconds before it started taking off, that I closed all my one SPY put here at the bottom, because when I looked at the delta, something was not right. There was a lot of absorption coming in, and it was turning green, right? So that tells me like, hey man, there's potential for an explosion here. So I closed it, and I let them fly. Some of you guys brought up, do we short the spike again? Yes, you can, but I mean, when you're coming up with full body candles and really no slowdown besides this candle here, and you kept going with a giant candle again, and I think Gator, it might have been you, do I short? I said I would not trade this. And did they give you guys a lot of entries on the run up?
There was one clear
Only
one
one.
I got at what's it? Yeah, it was at that previous week value area low retest. How long that?
I mean, you had this one here, right? They cracked this. This was your probably the best one. If you're going to talk about a retest, this was your best one to go long and target what?
IB high or IBH is what
This is a weekly profile, so most likely we're headed here tomorrow. 84, 85. It's going to traverse the whole 80%, guys, on weekly. So you have a failed IB on the bottom. I guarantee you there's a high chance of a gap up and continue. I don't know if there's news or not, but I would think that they're going to run this a little bit higher.
We got jobless and PPI tomorrow morning.
No, okay. I would just say just be careful trading. You're better off sleeping in a little bit than trading that, but they might do nothing. But you're better off let it settle, let them give you setups, and then trade. But if you feel like you can make money on these calls on NQ or ES during the volatility, by all means, but you can also lose it. I don't like to trade it, but that's up to you guys. For tomorrow, I am pretty certain we have a lots of fucking poor structure here, and it's everywhere. So when you look at his profile, it's just very unusual. Let me just go to 5 because, yeah, what do you call this, guys?
Really
Shorty,
poor
I've
structure.
just got a question. When we hit that 13 and we had all that volume coming in, did this surprise you how much it ran up, or were you anticipating that we were going to run like that?
I would, right now, if I say yes, most people are like, you're full of shit.
Well, yeah, but
I personally anticipated this to go to value area high and, stay there. Like, don't even, in terms of option market, stay here and throw everyone off for the remainder of the day. But, they did it a little bit here. And then I think I also mentioned at some point, I'm like, they want to run this higher. They're giving you all the signs of pullbacks, but they're going to grind this. And you guys had some questions. And I said, they want to rip this up. They want it higher. Just think about how many shorts got eaten up on the way up today. Like, go on 15 minutes and just look at the candles that they were giving you guys for setups. People that are not patient, look at this candle right here. That candle fairly looks good, right? I mean, you look at the candles, pick up volume, you're coming at a key level, and if you didn't wait for the break, and that was the level, if you guys go back in the main chat, I told you, the only way I was shorted was below this level. Do you guys recall that, or?
Yep. We were at about 80 or so when you mentioned it, I think.
Yeah,
80,
I said,
81.
do not short this trade. I mean, this was a train, do not short it. And only, I would go below 78 short, and that would, confirm that we were below this candle, a pin bar, and then we would go down. Otherwise, this was a hammer candle. Then you have another sell candle with a really good pickup volume. And then, I mean, here you have some consolidation, really no volume, and then you have a giant run. And I mentioned when we were like here at, I think, 47 or so, that we were going to hit 65, 68. And they did that in what period? Well, our favorite. I call this the money maker period. So let's take a look what we got tomorrow. So we're just gonna move some levels. Seems like some of you guys are still struggling what the spike is, so I'll show you guys. This level here was pretty sticky today. I'm just moving some levels around, sorry.
We hit single prints from the 13th.
Shorty, you can see
Cleaned up
the
some of those. That's what slowed us down, I think.
Shorty, you can see the spike from volume profile, right?
No, but you can see it from candles if you know how to read it.
Yeah, from the candles, right?
Yeah, you can see the spike from the candles.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
where is it? Where's the spike?
Right there,
Right where?
right,
The L period candle. It would be the base.
right where
Yes.
No. Is that the L period?
the candle right
No.
there.
No,
at
this
the
is M.
last.
No,
Here?
the L period. Yep, that's the base.
So this is
Yeah,
your 3
right.
o'clock
That's the base.
to
Yeah,
3:30. This is your M period. So this
yeah.
would be your spike, and your spike end. I'm sorry.
At the top.
I already had it marked. I'm sorry. I don't want two charts.
3:30 to 4, right?
Yeah. So here, and then you will have the spike end would be
Yeah.
kind of in that zone. So when you find the 30-minute candles, for those that don't have a TPO, look for the, you know, the 3 o'clock and the 3:30 candle. If the 3:30 candle goes above it, it doesn't matter the tail, right? It matters in terms of auction and stuff, but for the spike identification, you care about the previous candle high, and the 3:30 to 4 candle would be where it crosses that 3 o'clock high, and then where it ends, it would be the spike end. So now what's important for us that
Cool.
if we're rejecting this level here, if we reject this level right here, right, the 47, and we go below it, are we bullish?
No, it's bearish.
Yeah, bearish.
That would mean that it's bearish, and most likely we're doing what to the M period, this right here.
Rejecting.
it.
Yeah, rejecting it. So at that point, you do not want to look for too many longs immediately. You want to see them find some value. They will give you a heads up when they're ready for it, but it would mean they're, you know, most likely we're going to offer lower, and we would look for, you know, where is it that you can bounce on this great structure that we have. There's, I mean, I don't, do you guys see the single prints? I mean, there is, I just can't, I keep losing focus. There's so many single prints. So, I mean, you have this, you have some single prints here. You have some single prints here. And then I'm gonna bring up an issue for you guys so you guys can resolve it for me. Okay, well, damn it.
You got your July value low, your June POC, all those things up in the way.
I mean,
Wait, but are those single prints though? Because a period is there too.
Yeah, let me check. I think I got too excited here for a moment. It was two TPS. Yep, you're right. You are correct.
Yeah, so
How's the access?
47 is the base, right, Shorty?
I believe so. Yeah. Let me just write this out.
Okay.
But even with two TPO periods, I know it's not singles. I mean, it's not like the most healthiest profile
That
we've
was
seen.
excess low, Shorty.
Is that what I put, or did I put opposite?
Yeah, you put by.
Well, you guys know I'm dyslexic, so no, I am.
I love you anyway.
I am very dyslexic, man. I tell you guys, you know, I've been married for a while. I have 3 kids, and I still don't know how to wash white versus like non-white
Mhm.
clothes.
No.
Well,
Like my wife puts a note on the wall on which one I'm supposed to do if I'm doing any of it. Because if you give me good clothes, I will ruin that. Like I will mess your clothes up. I'm marking all this because I want to ask you guys a question. All right. Which blue line should I care for today in all of these single prints?
You talking about going in tomorrow's session?
Well, no, Fridays.
86 to 81.
86 to 81. This?
Yeah, because that kind of separates from where we've had. That's where you've got also close to your POC area. Well, actually, that's not a single print, is it?
This is the two TPOs. This is where
Sorry,
Shorty got
my
too
eyes
excited.
501?
Yeah, my eyes were seeing
Okay.
it at
501
single.
maybe?
That's my mistake.
So no, that was me. I think I threw you guys.
To be above previous day value area.
Okay, you're talking about like these little guys right here.
Yeah, previous week POC.
That would be a very good one, right?
Yeah,
It would be a good one because when you don't have, if let's say you didn't know about any of these other levels, how would you know which one to go with? When they're all separated mainly by two, and here on top, if you guys look, you have 3 TPOs, right? Where else you have 3 TPOs, but they're segmented out by the 2 TPOs, right? So it's not like we have a nice HVN here. And if you're to turn on volume, it's gonna look like, so you can, you know, let me see. Let me do this. So now if you just kind of increase this a little bit in terms of volume, if the time is not telling you anything, what's the other component that can tell you?
Volume.
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 So now when you look at the, you know, the levels, well, let's, I don't know how many distributions you want to count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7, 8 little liquidity pockets that they created and, you know, kept going. So even when you look at volume, you know, your POCs here, this is a pretty high node here at 58-ish, second highest. So, you know, here we have a lot. And when you come back, you know, if you're to go to the bottom of this range here, you would be hitting, you know, some serious level, right? So it would be previous day value area high. It would be some single prints. And when you look at the data for 3 days, what else is there? When I extend, well, it's extended. Do you guys see the little purple line here?
1 sig.
Well, it would be your 3-day balance 1 sig, right? And your value area high, and you have a little bit of a stack there, right? I'm talking about, you know, from level standpoint, you had some access high day prior, IBH, right, in a row, plus the 3-day sig. And then right here, you have a nice set of single prints. So who's to say that they can do something like this? And what would a lot of people do here? They
Short.
might
Short.
might go a little short heavy because now you're rejecting the value, but you're coming back to a 3-day value area high, right? So maybe, you know, this that occurred at the top was driven mainly by retail or whatever, right? Then we could find out just by volume. But if you're coming back on a 3-day value area high, well, you know, that one carries a little bit more weight in my book in a bracketed market. So I wouldn't pay too much attention here. Could you short this if you're, you know, fast enough to trade this? Probably pick up easy 10 points, right? Once they come here, they will most likely trap some people. And, you know, you have a lot of levels for traps. You have a IBH, you have the SIG, you have single prints, you could trap folks here, right? And then you come here, trap, and then you come back, and then maybe you hit the prior day value area high. And any reclaim, you lose this and reclaim this level right here, what would you do?
Go long.
Go long.
Bullish. That's yeah.
Okay, but let's say I give you a scenario that we do this. Pay attention to. I mean, let me not draw it with this. Somehow it's still again
Click on
square.
that magnifying glass, man.
Did I mess it up, man?
There
I did.
you go.
Okay, so let me give you a scenario. We're doing this, still doing it.
Oh, that's weird.
Let's say we're doing this. Are you bullish here?
No, it has to break over
No,
the top
very.
Tell me why you're not bullish.
because it needs to break above 510 because besides the fact that this is a skinny belly and you've got basically separated the two zones, Burnside posted how at 510 and 510 and a half, there was a huge amount of footprints
But we need to make
resisting
a higher high.
before we blew through that.
The
So
510 today was, how would I put this to give you guys a perspective? I haven't seen that much liquidity at that level in a, let's say maybe past 6 months. Like it was heavy at one point between like 501 to 506.5. It was crazy. And then on, if you guys look at your cumulative, you know, on, you guys remember how I do the left chart on the like VP, I change it to Delta. The 5, 10, 11 has about 35,000 contracts traded. And then the 505 has probably the same, just split between a higher range of price level.
Well,
So that, you know, that level of this right here, it is not, let me, okay, I have it up. I have it up. Let me show it so you guys can see it. Here. I'm like, where did it go? Do you guys see this right here?
well,
So now, I mean, and I'm trying to give you guys a 2+2 kind of formula. Do you think this many orders can't cause this right here? They brought in that much volume and they basically created what? There was
Short
not enough
cover.
time for people to build value. It was so quick. Somebody knew something and they started bidding like crazy. It was just an ask after an ask on the buying side, right?
there was a wall though before we even got up there that Burnside was posting before we actually got up there. I
No,
don't
but
know what he was looking at that had some massive
yeah,
delta on the
Yeah.
right hand side, blocking you from getting through that zone.
yeah.
And
I have it.
they took that with a freight train.
It was, but then how many of those? So if there's liquidity sitting there, right? And I don't know if he was looking up like on footprints or was he looking at L2?
No,
Like
footprints.
I think it was footprints.
Yeah, it was footprints.
remember, footprints show executed orders, right?
But okay, but this was, I guess, history because it was showing it up there.
Okay, well, if it was before, that means
Can he show L2 on the footprints chart?
if you have the, I don't know if they have the subscriptions, but there's platforms certainly that do have L2.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
you
know.
can,
It could have been L2. He posted on the Discord, so. find the
so you
chart.
have, what's his name? Sierra Charts has it.
He did it in Quantower, so.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
he had it in
no,
Quantower.
they don't have it.
No, what he was posting was in Quantower.
So I think that was the previous orders that were executed, and that's kind of what I was showing you guys. So
Yeah.
these are on the left is that, you know, it's my chart for full chart range. So this was already there before today. On the right here, I have it for a week. If I click today only, here, it'll
Yeah.
start taking a second, then you'll see what actually happened, or not today, I'm sorry, because we are in a different. Here's your massive orders that came in like today at the same level.
Yep.
I'm sorry, when I say today, I mean yesterday, but this is where they came. This is the massive, massive levels that, I mean, you can add them up or change the cluster, right?
What do the colors on the left mean? The red and the green.
It just means that the order was at a limit. Is it positive or green? So like these are all green levels. You see they're positive there. The negatives, I have them flipped actually. Again, I'm showing you my. So now you see, let's see here. See, now I don't know which one's which. That one should be red. The first one. Okay, so now you're able to see, you know, do you guys understand how delta's calculated on footprints? Is there anyone that doesn't?
I don't understand the whole delta concept.
Okay. So we can do that class potentially spell. Let's see if we can squeeze that in on Sunday on the stock scan. Does anyone know what the delta is?
I can't give you the definition, but I know how to read it.
I want somebody to tell me how it's calculated.
The axe minus the bid.
Okay. And so what does that tell you? If you can explain it logically.
So the bid side, you have the number of limit sellers as well as the limit buyers and market sellers. And then you take that number and it goes diagonally. For the axe, you have the limit sellers and the aggressive buyers. And like I say, you subtract that from the bid side.
Okay. Does everybody understand that? Because it's on the left side, exactly what she explained.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So here's a delta that we talk about. Delta is not, don't confuse delta order flow with delta in options. This is nothing to do with the options with the Greeks. This is just a delta, which is ask minus the bid. When you have green delta, when you have positive number, it means that there is more aggression towards what? If I'm buying more at the ask, because remember, at the ask is +1 or whatever, right?
Aggressive
Whatever
buyers.
the difference is. That means that there's aggressive buyers. So if it's red, it means that there's aggressive sellers. But that's not to say, can you have a large bottom on a bottom, like let's say right here. We have a large red number on the left, but the price goes up. Why would that happen?
Absorption.
In terms of delta.
Aggressive
You have the
buying.
limit buyers. You have the limit buyers on the left side there.
Exactly. So you have limit buyers, right? So why would it be red?
The buyers are absorbing the
because they are absorbing the
selling orders.
sales a bit.
Okay, so if the bid, if we bid at this level, let's say I'm just throwing it out here, 413, 620, 6267, and let's say this order right here was 1200. What color would this number be? If this was 1200 here instead of 15,000, what color would this be?
It would be red.
It'd be red
for imbalance.
Okay, and then I tell you the price after that red is right here. And then you remember what's on the left side. On the left side, on the bottom is a passive buyer, right? As the aggressive sellers come, who's providing the liquidity?
Limit buyers.
Passive buyers.
Passive buyers. So just because it's red on the bottom doesn't mean that it's, aggressive sellers. It could be that there's limit buyers. And remember, on a bid, it can show up as red, but it's the context that matters. I don't know if somebody sold aggressively from 94, whatever the quantity was, to fill at 93, or was it the bid that got hit because the ask got reduced? How would I know that? Well, I can't. If I did, I would be a trillionaire. If you could do matching of the orders that come in and perfectly match them, you 8 hours to become a trillionaire. You would know every move and liquidity that's happening. Okay, hopefully I didn't bore you to death. So yes, yeah, I'll take 30 minutes. I'll be okay. So for tomorrow, this I think is a big level for me, right? But in terms of, you know, the bullish, the bearishness, our spike base is starting somewhere at 47 3/4, and then we go all the way to 67, right? In terms of the levels, this level here that I covered first on the weekly profile, is that important to you guys or no? This 68 to about 65. I guess a little bit higher. I'm sorry, maybe somewhere around here. But the weekly was already there. So yeah, so maybe that we spent some time there. Is this level important?
Yes. Separates the
Separating
distribution.
distributions.
I want to make sure that everybody's following what, you know, majority of you are picking up now. Well, think about it. If we crack over this level on the prior week profile, there's a high chance that we would do what? And that, careful where I'm kind of highlighting this. I would add this level to your must watch level tomorrow. There's a beautiful trap waiting to happen here. Does everybody see it?
Yes.
The selling tail up there, right?
But do you see the trap? Do you see where they're going to take the money from people? I agree with that. I agree with that, Raj, but this is your B period low right here. Not B period, I'm sorry, B spike down from A. Then you have the C period. So you have some single prints here, and then the access tail, massive one up to here. And I would just mark that, right? As next levels that you can watch out for. But what would it mean if they kind of go above here, reject, and you know, let's say they lose spike? I'm just giving you a potential scenario that might play out tomorrow for like 100 points. And like come here. Oh, hello? Did I lose
You're
you?
not accepting that.
You're still here.
Oh, sorry, my screen's flashed. Okay, I don't know what's going on.
You're not accepting that higher distribution from the previous week.
Okay, and that could also trigger what?
It's to go to the opposite extreme because it's
It
the
would be
previous
the
week. we
opposite
had-
extreme. We wouldn't call this necessarily what? A clear 80%, right? Because we've explored it. We've spent a lot of time there already. So some people might be like, oh, we're gonna play the 80% down. Yes, you can call it 80%. 80% works the best when the area is unexplored. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we've already explored this area, right? So now, if they go above it and they lose, yeah, there's a potential. I would target this zone here first at 31.25. They would go there in that area, and then ultimately we would go to the previous week value area low, which is somewhere 501. And the extended is 42 here. Okay, so I would watch for some of this level, but this level here is fairly important, guys, because when you zoom out, what does this level mean here? Let me just delete this. Well, let's take a look. I'm just gonna increase this to about 7-ish. Get a nice view. Okay. Let me just reset this. All right. So we had the 2-week balance, and then we had what? An extension down. We had the sell-off from there. And then when you think about the bigger scheme of things, I don't want to click the draw because it's gonna bring back the drawings, but follow my mouse from the bottom to here. What would this be?
Bracket.
It would be a nice bracket, right? And the bracket stops, remember that about 55-ish level or whatever it was, the previous high where we went up and we had the balance here also, it was at 86.5. So we went above, but now you're building, we had a bracket inside of a bracket, which we talked about in a class, if you guys recall. You know, if we are able to crack an inside this value area low, let's say we get inside 610-ish, I would not be surprised that we go all the way to the top of that extreme 671, ultimately hit the VPOC 703 and put in a new all-time high. And is there a chance we slow down somewhere as we enter here? Yeah, it's going to be important to see how do we react tomorrow. If we go inside of this area, let's say, and tomorrow they defend, let me see where. Let's say they defend, this tomorrow, and they're able to crack higher. Well, that would be potentially the best scenario they can do, is find a level, right, that you can defend behind from today and accept the prices higher, because that would indicate that this short cover rally that we kind of had today, because the profile of the, today was not necessarily the strongest buyers in the market. It was just a lot of, I don't know what to call it, right? A lot of indecisions that happened today. And it's an outside period after a lot of overlaps here, but we are not inside that balance yet. The 2 weeks balance, we're just not there yet, right? So now I would look at this here, like 77 level or so. There is some single prints that you guys know that are in this area. And then you have these accesses, you have access high and then the single prints again. And your value area low probably is going to be on this one. Let's not extend it. So it's going to be sitting somewhere at 608. So they can go in between here, right? Which they probably will if they're able to kind of hold the base tomorrow. They'll auction higher probably to 84. And then, the frenzy starts. What would majority of the retail start doing?
Buying.
Just the opposite of what these other guys did today at 413, right? A lot of people were short here. I guarantee you they were short after a 100-point drop, because what was in their mind? How were they emotionally triggered?
Bear flag, right? That's what they would be thinking.
The trend.
What about the CPI news?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about
the dump? This is the dump.
what about what
Politics.
happened September 7th, like 2008 or 2007? Did you guys check? Anyone check that? A lot of people correlated these dumps to like 2008, 2007 drops, and they said, man, right after the FMOC, the CPI is going to come in, and they're relating to today's events. The CPI is going to come in, and it's going to be a bull trap, and then they're going to sell off.
Psychologically, it was 9/11 also.
Yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, that was big too. And for past, I think 17 years, 9/11's been green. So there was a cool stat on that. So for me, I want to see them crack about this level, which happens to be a spike. This is okay. What setup is this from our class?
Look above and fail.
What's the name of, like, if I'm able to pop above and come back, what is this then? What's the name of the setup?
Open test drive.
No, that's an auction type, guys. Oh man, we have a couple of setups, right? This was the first setup that I covered in market profile. So I love it, but it happens to have two of them at once. So I love it. Like, I really love it.
Double distribution and the spike break.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's exactly it. It's a double distribution and a spike setup. It's just that you have them line up perfectly at the level. Do you guys remember, like, this slide that we covered?
Yep.
I even gave you guys even a new look here, right? So this is a big level and the big setup for me, because it has two of my favorite things. Why I like spike is because it tells you early on, if there's some bearishness in the market. You don't have to wait for an hour to get the IB set. They're telling you way before, right? And the same for double distribution here. We have a clear split, right? You have a split that we just highlighted here. And then you have a pretty long split here with I would say, prior you had nice single prints. You have a lowercase b that was building here, I would say, on the weekly, right? If they go above this tomorrow and they fail, what would be your target? Think. Like, what is a high chance that they execute?
Previous week POC.
Yep, that would be, you know, a short-term trader first target. High odds that they would visit is that POC. Who can tell me why?
Spent the most amount of time there.
Exactly, because there's no interest sensitive. Look at the value, right? Look at the value of the profile, right? There was no time being spent there. So do you think time's going to be spent there when we auction the opposite direction? There's not much, guys. If there is not much to trade about on the way up, it won't have much to trade about on the way down.
Yeah.
So that, you know, if they're to lose that level tomorrow, that would mean what somebody was talking about, that we are rejecting this. I would call this tiny distribution here, guys. To me, this is a very short traders distribution. And why do I say that? I say short-term traders, not like aggressive sellers short. Why do I say that?
Because a lot of time.
Not a lot of time was spent there.
I mean, they had quite a bit of time. They have quite a few TPOs.
It's not a lot of volume though.
No volume.
You guys can't tell volume. How do you know volume?
It's not so wide.
Ah, Erica, what does that mean?
It's not a large distribution, so it's a short time.
The range is not wide, guys. Remember how when you have a short, narrow value, what does it mean?
Short time.
No other time frame bars.
There's no other time frame participants in the market. So they're happy with theirs as they do short-term traders do price discovery?
No.
No.
They
Well,
trade
most
within the range.
failed traders do price discovery because your 2 ES become a good liquidity. But if I was to put like I did earlier, remember how we brought the quant tower and Mr. Bean said there was some massive orders. Well, if I bring in, let's say 25,000 contracts at that level, what do you think it does to that, you know, price discovery? Well, most likely it's gonna confirm it. Breaking with 5,000 contracts on a level and 25,000 contracts, which one is more powerful? Right? Most likely the one that brought in the volume, a lot more contracts and had orders absorbed and was protecting the level and then exploded higher. Because then the rest of the people saw those large order and price was not going lower. And what did they think? I'm gonna jump in with the big whale. We're gonna go higher. Would that not be what you guys do when you see a footprint and you see a massive order and price goes up above it and it holds it?
Oh yeah, every time.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't it make sense? So when you see a narrow area, that means it's short-term traders because they're not willing to do price discovery. And short-term traders do what? They sell the tops, buy the bottoms, you know, around POCs, take some trims and keep going until they get stopped. They do get stopped. But unlike some other people, they don't cry and, you know, break laptops. They just accept the loss and they move on to the next one. So here, this is a short-term traders. Why do you think I bring that up here?
Probably not gonna hold.
Why not?
They didn't find a lot of buyers up there.
Well, they didn't have a lot of participants. Obviously, they didn't have a lot of buyers because from there, like you were saying, Ashley, we sold off from there. So, but there was not a lot of participants in this distribution. Not saying on this profile, because the distribution below has what?
It's a lot of volume.
A lot of participants, 3 times as participants as this one, right? So this one has 25 points. This one was in the range for 75, so roughly 3 times.
Yeah, it's quite a bit more.
So if we fail here tomorrow at spike, where do you think we're headed?
Back down to that
Down.
larger area.
You go to the bottom here and you're looking to see where's the value area high here. That would be somewhere around here, right? And that would make sense that they defend this one and then start building value where? Start building here to prepare for what? For this. Or if the market generates information and tells us, like the volume last time when we were here, remember I gave you guys basically a picture of where I see concerns. If they give us concerns again on this side, then we would know, which way probability wise it might tip. It doesn't mean that we will go, because we'll identify some of the levels, like maybe that 85 level at the top will be important, right? So just because something looks bearish or you read news bearish, I would say focus on price acceptance. Where's it being accepted? Where's the value? Ideally, wouldn't it be the best if they can get in here and trade and close, let's say Friday inside this? How bullish would that be? Who would like to short if we close here? Above previous week value area high. Anyone want to take a short there?
No.
No.
It would be pretty.
No.
Well, you would be brave because you had a really bad week. You had a lot of news. If the news don't move it one way, high chance that they're gonna rip it the other way, right? And we tried one way, and we see where we opened, we closed here, and now you're kind of pushing towards the prior week open. So I would say don't bring the emotions, because the emotions will skew you to use, data that's not really realistic. Here they can crack out of this, right? I mean, you have this level up top. They can break this, right? Over 84. If they can get inside 84 and let's say stay there, hit 94, but not lose this, sets up a rocket. Like I would say sets up a rocket to go to these POC levels at 10, and then I would ultimately say 35. And it happens quick because is there a lot of value here on the top portion here of this last week? Well, no, because they would look to bring it where? Where does price navigate to typically?
The POC, the volume.
Towards equilibrium. Price always looks for fair price, and then it's looking for aggressors to come in up and down from that fair price, right? So first we test the 10, and ultimately this will be here, and then the value area high. But tomorrow this is fairly important. I think this is a really good setup. And for a lot of new people, this is where if you want to test the theory or what you're learning, tomorrow is a good case. I would say, you want to see how we do around that spike base level.
But would you execute this in
On
the
first.
85 range?
On 85 range.
Well, at the previous week value area high. Look above.
Would I close it? Or
No,
I'm
no,
sorry,
no.
what do you say? Like
the short, sorry.
okay, the short side, like above and lose.
Yeah.
I really want to see this level being lost to be bearish.
Okay.
I know this, like I can ignore this, man. Can I short between here and here? Yeah, but can it be choppy as well? Yes. So would I take some shorts here if I see above and fail? Yes. But this level here can cause some serious pain for the shorts, because we're accepting on the weekly profile above it. And if we can go above and selling is not as aggressive, I would be very careful of this level. It will surprise some people.
Max.
I got a VPOC at 82 there, Shorty.
Yeah. Right here somewhere.
VPOC at 82. Yeah.
Right here at 582.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
55.82 I have.
I think I did too, and that's why this line seems bigger. I can't tell. Yeah, I mean, I think I had too many levels there. Yeah, I think I had a few marked, but I
Yeah,
don't know
there's a
where to
V-block
find
there.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also got a June value high at 87, so there's a lot of stuff in that area.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
this
sir.
area is stacked here. That's why I said mark this 94 because there's a high chance that they could do what? Really trap the people, and then you're back in what? What would that mean in terms of stock market? Where are we? We're in a lower bracket. That means we're lower. Would that be bullish or bearish? Let's say if we close at the extreme of lower value. Why do I say that?
Stream of lower value. What do you mean? What
Well,
level? You mean
this was
below?
our.
There's
This
a
is we're,
previous balance higher.
Oh,
yeah. So it
That
would
my
mean that
bullish?
so this would be merged. This one would be merged, and if we close, let's say below this level of 88.5, that would be
oh,
like if you look
you
at
mean
this, then
tomorrow?
well, tomorrow's Thursday, is it or Friday? What day is tomorrow?
Thursday, I think.
Yeah,
Thursday.
tomorrow's Thursday. So as of right now, we are accepting prices lower, right? Because we are here in 2-week bracket, then we extended down. We still haven't gotten inside this value here to be accepted. Does that make sense?
Well, value didn't track higher, right? So just
Well,
price movement.
it's climbing. I mean, cumulatively 2 weeks, I combine these profiles. I hate that you can't just split one profile. Okay. So now you see, right? I mean, you did, obviously you don't have value built here, but not to say that they can't build it tomorrow. But as of right now, you need to get inside here if you want to really, really turn into like, okay, we're going new all-time highs. And you would have some serious projections here based on, you know, some fibs and a lot of, we could figure out the next set of levels even if we did not have this here. Because this could be massive rally from here, because this would be look above on this value, go to the bottom of it, and then you're basically saying we bought enough, but we don't think the value is below, it's higher. And this, you know, this range on the top, would you guys say it's pretty wide?
No.
No. we did almost double that today.
That's what I was gonna say, but yeah, it's not pretty wide. So if they get inside this value, what's most likely to happen? Why do we auction higher?
See where the buying stops.
And cutoffs buying.
See where the buying
Looking for
stops.
sellers.
So they're looking for sellers. So, I mean, if they get inside the value here, would it be smart to look for sellers in the bottom of the value?
No, on the top.
They're going to drive the price higher. So they're going to look for sellers above and, you know, at the extremes. So that's why I say it's still bearish till we get inside. But so far, I mean, it's looking like they're like, oh, we're here. Like, I mean, just look, I mean, don't even look at, you have to go in 30 minutes. More
One
fun.
higher. Yeah.
So it's a lot more fun this way. You know, we have equal lows and we ripped, and it could be that we close inside here again and then do what? Let's say PPI somehow becomes hot and the market sees it as bad. Well, all the late bulls from today, if you're in what? A bracket.
The bracket, it's gonna go to the bottom.
Could you not now really mess up the bears? Like you come here, hey, we're breaking the double bottom, man. And then you come here, and then let's say you hit this. I think you have a lot of suicidal people. Like you, a lot of people would be. They can just continue being in the bracket too, right? So as we are breaking these, how would we know that the break is valid?
Volume.
Go above and then retest.
Yeah, one way is to tell volume because that directional performance. Where's the market trying to go, and is it doing a good job getting there? Well, what about this volume on a daily?
Better than it's been the past couple days.
I mean, only one day it's been better. past, I don't know, since August 9th. Right? So this
We
you
also had
can't
a massive delta. We had like 40,000 delta, I think, end of the day on
yeah, it was massive. It
yes.
was- So this is a pretty valid candle in my world. If tomorrow, let's say you mark the spike candle and this is looking bullish, yeah, I mean they can push this, guys. And I would look for some fibs, you know, maybe from the top here, from here to the bottom right here, and look where, you know, where we are and what might happen. No, it feels like I have a lot of levels here with these single prints, man. They're driving me crazy. Look at the 61.8 and the spike candle. I think I hit it like, yeah, almost to a penny here. So a pretty good level, right? And then right above that, you're in a golden zone for rejection, which matches what? Previous week value area high, look above fail. So I wouldn't say the bulls have won yet. You know, tomorrow is very important. See if they can continue, and then, you know, where do we close in terms of value for the week? Will be super important Friday for the next week, because if we can get inside and close, let's say above this 84, maybe some swing longs would be good. Or, you know, Monday look to lose that level, regain, and rip higher. At least that's what I would anticipate, you know, to create some liquidity. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll hop on and see how PPI does. If we see crazy volatility, I'd rather stay away and enjoy options on days like that when the volatility hops in. Because, you know, today on the SPY puts that I swung yesterday, I think it was over 120%. I had a 5-pack, made almost $1,700. I kept one and I'm down on it, but still good money for a 1-day swing. Over 100%. That's golden to me. I don't make a living off of 120% every day. So when they do hit, I take my money and I go. Okay. All right, guys. Well,
Thanks,
I'll see
Shorty.
you